Welcome to Winding Down with Product Managers. One of the things that we get asked quite a bit is about our process, especially in earlier conversations in the sales process. Crema is known pretty well for our process and getting things done. And so I think it's important for us to talk a little bit about that now and why we use the processes that we use. So Allison, maybe elaborate a little bit there on what we use here at Crema and why.
There will be certain projects that we need to use Kanban on. Like I mentioned previously, sometimes that includes design sprints or design and prototyping engagements. Kind of when you first engage with a client or begin building out a product, you're not doing much development work. You're doing a lot of strategy, a lot of design, a lot of maybe user testing and feedback. So at that stage of the engagement or relationship with the product, it's fairly common for us to use Kanban, and that's A-okay, and it runs really smoothly. It's worked well. But once it kind of moves into development, we defer to Scrum, including some of the kind of molded and pulled in pieces from Kanban as needed and as applicable. There are a lot of reasons why we've chosen to go that route. But from the PMs here, we really care about our team, about our product. And a part of that team, like Tuck mentioned, is the client. And sometimes they need protecting too, and sometimes being protected from themselves, right? So Scrum really allows us to do that. By default, we use Scrum, and a lot of it, in large in fact, is around the fact that we want to protect our team, protect our client, protect our product.
And honestly, also protect ourselves, right?
That's right.
As product managers, we need time to think about things. We need time to do our own jobs. And if we're constantly triaging every little request that's coming in and trying to get it over the team immediately and all of that, it doesn't really give us that much space to do our jobs. And so I would also argue that Scrum really helps us prioritize our own work and helps us be able to write all the stories that we need to write, along with the team, of course, and then do effective planning for the project, which can go to the wayside if we're just constantly taking in requests and not really having that time to do it.
I love it. I also love incorporating, Scrum and Kanban together. Whatever gets you the best outcome. And
that happens, it's pretty frequent, especially if we have projects where design continues to happen, obviously, in our development projects. We work in an agile world, right? So those design tasks, for example, we don't, at least at Crema, or at least with my projects, we don't story point the design tasks.
Right.
Whereas anything development related, of course, we do. But that's kind of outside of what is normal process for Scrum. Some businesses, and rightly so, they create the story, and then all your design and development and everything is all wrapped up in that. We do have to take some special considerations on our projects since we are in an agency, and the processes maybe look a little bit differently because of that. And so that's why sometimes we have design tasks separated out, which is not traditional for the Scrum method, but that's another example of something that's a little bit combined that works to the better of the team.
I love that. I love the flexibility to do what you need to do to get the job done.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
So one question we get a lot is, what tools are we going to use for the project? You'll have to subscribe to us, obviously, to get big, deep dives into all of these, but we can give you a quick general overview of what tools we do use for these processes and why. The first big one is Asana. So that has traditionally been our go-to tool for all of our projects. But most recently, we've started to move away from it for anything that is more Scrum related. Kanban, it works great. It's a great task manager. It's great for collaboration and visibility amongst all the teams. But really, at the end of the day, it doesn't do everything we need it to do for Scrum. And so we've kind of shied away from it because of that. We still think it's a great tool. It's designed very well. It's very quick. And honestly, most of our team still really loves it. It just doesn't do all the things we need it to do in order to support the Scrum process. But overall, if you're going to be set up in more of a Kanban environment, it's a great tool to go ahead and use. And then we also use, on some of our engagements, we use Jira. And I'm a little bit biased because I love Jira. It's my favorite tool for development projects. It is so flexible. It's so robust. But because of that impedes a lot of people from using it. They're working on it. I know they're working on it. And the UI and the overall UX is starting to change because of that. But it is a lot to take in because of how inherently flexible it is. There are so many different triggers you can pull, so many customizations you can do. And so when you're first getting into it, especially as an entire organization, it can be very daunting to move everything over to it, to get all your processes set up in it, to get all your users set up in it. But it is the go-to. I mean, a lot of products use it for their product development, and that's why it's used throughout the globe, is because of how well it works.
Yeah,
it really can handle any project you throw at it, whether it's Kanban, Scrum, any other type in between, business projects. Anything you can throw at it, it can do.
Absolutely.
It's like the Cadillac of the tools.
We like Jira.
Clearly.
But there is one more tool
Yes.
that I am learning to love so much. It's my go-to right now. And as a PM, I feel like other PMs could probably back this up. Like, I am all about finding the next tool. Like, I will pay for however many apps I need to pay for as long as I'm learning and playing with things. And one of our other PMs on this team found Aura, and it's amazing, right? The UI is phenomenal. It's gorgeous. The team that built it is very small, and they care a lot about what their users are feeling and thinking and how they're going to use it. So they built this tool out to be initially Kanban style, but they have removed any stringencies around it. It gives you the ultimate flexibility to do with it whatever you want. It makes developers happy. It makes designers happy. It makes me happy. But with all that said, it's got some growing to do since it's so new. But I would recommend checking that out as well.
I'm excited to see what's to come from them in the future. They've already changed so much since we started. It'll be exciting to see where they go in the coming years.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with it, and I look forward to learning more about what their roadmap has and how they want to make it better. So check that out. Let us know what you think. Tell us what you think about how we implement things here at Crema. Leave us comments, like this. Follow us, tell us what you want us to dive into deeper, because this is really just brushing the surface of all of these topics, and we could talk about all this stuff for days, maybe years.
Yeah, probably.
It's our bread and butter, so let us know what you want, let us know what you think, and thanks for watching.